like to respond to some comments made last night in Alabama?
Yes, I would. First of all, I'll say it's a shame that we have to do this. It's really despicable. It's despicable that somebody can say things about somebody and an organization. More importantly, 17-year-old kids. You're taking shots at 17-year-old kids and their families. And they broke state laws. They're all money. We bought every player on this group. We never bought anybody. No rules were broken. Nothing was done wrong. It was all in the way we do things, the ethics in which we do things. And these families, it's despicable that a reputable head coach could come out and say this when he doesn't get his way or things don't go his way. The narcissist in him doesn't allow those things to happen, and it's ridiculous. But when he's not on top, and the parity in college football he's been talking about, go talk to coaches who coach for him. You'll find out all the parity. Go dig into wherever he's been. You can find out anything. And it's a shame that you got to sit here and defend 17-year-old kids and families. And Texas A&M, because we do things right, we're always going to do things right. But we're always going to be here. We're doing a heck of a job. These coaches have done a great job. Our players have done a great job. The whole organization of recruiting people. It's despicable that we got to sit here at this level of ball and say these things to defend the people of this organization, the kids, 17-year-old kids, and their families. It's amazing. Some people think they're God. Go dig into how God did his deal. You may find out about a guy that a lot of things you don't want to know. We built him up to be the czar of football. Go dig into his past or anybody that's ever coached with him. You can find out anything you want to find out, what he does and how he does it. And it's despicable. It really is. And it's a shame we have to sit up here and have this conversation about things we do. And it's personal to us? Yes, it is. It's personal to A&M. It's personal to our players. It's personal to our coaches and everybody involved. And I know the guy. Know him really well. It's amazing that we're allowed to do those things. It's really despicable. And I hate it for our players who are coming here, who did things the right way, have done things the right way, and will continue to do things the right way. I apologize to you that people insult you publicly the way they're doing it. And our fans, I apologize to you guys for people saying those things about Texas A&M. But I promise you this, there are no violations. There are nothing wrong. It's the second time we've had to do this with grown men who don't get their way and want to pout, throw a fit, and act up. Just go ask all the people who work for him. You'll know exactly what he's about. I always said this. My dad always told me this. When people show you who they are, believe them. He's showing you who he is.
Questions? To the left, Olin.
A couple of things, Jimbo. First of all, have you had any contact with Nick since?
No. Oh, he's called.
You just didn't take the call?
Not going to. We're done.
And
he shows you who he is.
And then I just wanted to.
He's the greatest ever, huh?
And then I just wanted
when you
to.
got all the advantages, it's easy.
And I just wanted to just put it point blank. So, no players in you're saying that no players in
there's
the
no bylaws of anything we ever
or
promised, done anything that goes against the laws of the state of Texas, and it's insulting to say a 17-year-old and his family broke laws. No.
Down front, Brent.
You know, y'all have both spoken so highly of each other in the past in terms of what y'all have done in your previous relationship. So how disappointing was it to hear that from him, you know, in terms of, you know, a mentor type to you?
It's disappointing. No, it wasn't. No, listen, you coach with people like Bobby Bowden and learn how to do things. You coach with other people and learn how not to do things. There's a reason people don't go, I ain't went back and worked for him with opportunities.
Coach back behind the
Don't be
lights.
associated with it.
Coaches, is this an area where you would want to see the league office and the SEC, the commissioner's office get involved if coaches are putting out specific accusations of violation?
That's their job. That's fine. I'm sure they will. They'll reprimand or say something, and we'll move on, I guess. But this is about our players in Texas A&M and the people who work for and the coaches here. That's what this is about. Make a mistake. We're not going anywhere. We have still a lot of work to do. We're not where we want to be. This is going to be a great program, and we're building it into a great program.
guess it's safe to say we will not be seeing them team up anytime soon on the greens when it comes to Jimbo Fisher there and Nick Saban. Joining me now, college football writer Jared Barrett-Salee, and your reactions, you hear about it. It seems like there's a little smoke between the two, and we haven't even got to their matchup this season. Your reaction there for what Fisher responding to Nick Saban on those accusations there?
I love it. I love the spice back in the SEC. And look, Jimbo, he said that in the press conference that he's not going to back down. But he came out guns a-blazing. You know, I know Jimbo Fisher a little bit, and he doesn't back down. But he called Nick Saban a narcissist. He told people to go investigate everything about that program and essentially insulted his character. I have not seen a press conference like that or comments like that between two coaches in the SEC, maybe ever, certainly since Lane Kiffin and Urban Meyer back in 2009. So yeah, there's definitely history. I think Nick Saban is clearly upset that Texas A&M reeled in the best recruiting class of all time. He takes that personally, whether it was done normally under the rules or it was done disingenuously. It absolutely makes Nick Saban angry, and Jimbo Fisher is going to defend his program, and good for him. Good for him. Nick Saban, if he wants to call out Jimbo because he knows things or thinks he knows things, good for him. This is a great offseason storyline, but I think more importantly, it shows just how dysfunctional the name, image, and likeness rules are. Jimbo's right. The government needs to step in. There needs to be a federal law because right now there are no guardrails. And with what Jimbo says that his team didn't do, or what Nick says his team did, Jimbo's team did do, clearly these coaches are living in the gray area, and there's a lot of room in that gray area right now.
By the way, since 2018 to 2021, they had 5 5-stars committed. The Aggies, that class that we're talking about here, 7 5-stars, the reason why they're number 1 in 2022. You mentioned, of course, this is a lot for the offseason. They will meet in season October 8th. You might as well circle it now based on what we're hearing today. Is that something that could carry over? By the way, it is at Alabama.
Oh, there's no doubt. There is absolutely no doubt. This is going to be one of the most, I would say, chaotic atmospheres that we've seen. We saw last year when Lane Kiffin went back to Neyland, the mustard bottles and the golf balls. Not saying Alabama fans are going to throw projectiles on the field, but this will be comparable to that. It'll be comparable to when Philip Fulmer returned to the state of Alabama after being subpoenaed for his part in an investigation into the recruiting practices at the University of Alabama. So this game was going to be solid no matter what. We were excited about this game no matter what, especially after what happened last year with Texas A&M winning on the walk-off field goal. But now the fact that Jimbo gets to go to Tuscaloosa in a year in which I think a lot of folks think that those are the top 2 teams in the SEC West, it's going to be the most anticipated game outside of normal rivalry games that we've seen in a very long time.
Let's talk about the NIL here, Barrett. When we think about it, is this just another example of this is what happens when you have no guidelines in place or no guidance? This, of course, implemented not too long ago.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, and look, you have to look at the words specifically. Jimbo said in his press conference numerous times that none of the players, his program, didn't break state laws. That's very important because state laws a lot of times differ, in this case they do, from actual guidelines set forth by the NCAA. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that goes to show you just how dysfunctional this whole thing is. I think there are 16, 17 states with NIL laws on the books. Everybody else operates under the guise of the NCAA's policy, which mirrors a lot of the state laws, but they're not the same. So, you know, yeah, it does go to show you just how dysfunctional this is, and it falls on Mark Emmert. Look, the NCAA waited forever, for more than a decade, for the government to solve the issue of compensating players. And the government, like it should, had a lot of more important things to do. And so now they rush this thing through, states pass those laws, and it is the wild, wild west, a phrase that's been used quite often when it comes to name, image, and likeness. So, yeah, guardrails need to be put up, but it's hard to put that toothpaste back in the tube at this point.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.